Hello everyone, it's DiFusionGaming here for another episode of TWD. Now in this episode, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and imagination, if that makes any sense. I mean, I'm not talking about any specific thoughts or anything like that, or any kind of things I think of. It's more like kind of how my head works. I don't know if this is an interesting topic, but I find it kind of interesting, so I'm talking about it, so yeah. Now just so you know, before I get started into this, I'm a visual learner. So that basically means I'm bad with names, like I have trouble remembering people's names or birthdays or all that kind of stuff. But I'm great at remembering faces. It's like I can picture someone's face in my head easily. So yeah. Now to start off, one of the ways my head kind of works is it has stories playing in my head, so there will be like different things playing in my head, like different scenes kind of. And it's all completely based on people I've talked to recently, things I've heard recently, places I've been to recently, and all that kind of stuff. It'll all form like kind of weird moments playing in my head. And just so you know, these stories and scenes have been playing in my head for about as long as I can remember, but most of them I forget or they don't come together or connect to each other. But recently, as a lot of scenes that I have remembered began to connect in my head, which is kind of weird. So now I have multiple stories that I've been forming for years that are all like kind of piecing together, and they've all been working together. It's kind of weird. Ever since this happened, there's been lots more smaller stories being made in my head, and a lot of scenes that don't connect to anything. Well, at least not yet. It's not even me that's making these stories, it's my head, if that makes any sense. Basically, it's like I'm watching or listening to a movie that's playing all day long. I don't have any control over the movie. Nothing I can do. It's just playing, and I'm just spectating. When I was younger, I think I used to make the sounds that are happening in my head, but I'm not sure. I used to come out of thoughts, like I'll be thinking of some kind of story or something while I'm laying down, and I'll just think to myself, was I making sounds? I still don't know to this day. Yeah. So in elementary school, my friends and I would play these games outside. And it wasn't usually games like tag and hide and seek and those kinds of games. They were always games with like some kind of story to it. Like I was the one making the story. We would be walking around the schoolyard, and I would be saying what is going on in the story and where it was happening. It was fun. I remember I used to say things like, I make millions of games every day, and stuff like that. But in a way, I wasn't lying. While we were playing those games, I was actually saying what was going on in my head. Little did they know, these games we played were the most linear games that has ever existed. So there wasn't actually any branching pathways or anything. It was all just one straight line. I didn't even know what was going to happen next. But yeah, it's pretty cool to have stories in your head. It also means I never get bored when I'm doing nothing. So I can just sit down, stare at a wall, and just do absolutely nothing, and I'll be entertained. Come to think of it, I could probably write multiple books if I wanted. But I don't like reading, so yeah. Now, deep thoughts. I use the term deep thought when I'm really into one of the stories. It's kind of like zoning out, but at a whole new level. It's like I'm awake the whole time, but it's almost like a dream. When I'm in deep thought, I don't even remember I am in the deep thought. It's like all my senses are being blocked, and the story is taking them over. It isn't easy to get me out of it. Even vision has been blocked before, and I can actually see my stories with my eyes open. It's really weird. It's like images kind of going in front of my face. It's kind of weird, but deep thought rarely happens when my eyes are open. But it's cool when it does happen. Sometimes I intentionally get into deep thought. It actually defries my brain for some reason, so if my brain is very fried, I just get into like a special position so I don't fall asleep. And I just let my mind wander. There's actually been a couple awkward moments in school because I went to deep thought during class or something. And I'll talk about those awkward moments right now. Now, for my first awkward moment was in grade 6 or 7, I don't remember. I was in music class and everyone was in a circle because we were about to play a game. Because we usually do like a game before we do all the music stuff. I don't know how, but I somehow got into deep thought. I was standing up, the teacher was explaining something, and I somehow got into it. I don't know how. And just so you remember, when I'm in deep thought, all of my senses are blocked. So people can like say stuff, they can physically touch me, I can smell stuff, and I won't even know it. All my senses will be like controlled by whatever is in my story, and I'll actually feel whatever in the story. So my memories of that moment was the teacher physically moving me back because apparently she's been trying to get me to take a step back for a while now. I was very confused because I don't remember the teacher standing in front of me asking me to take a step back. It's very weird when you snap out of something and then like everyone's watching you and it's like, oh, I don't know how I got into this situation. Like, usually when you're zoned out, someone could just simply wave their hand in front of your face or something, and then it's like, oh, okay. But nope. It took a bit. Now for my second awkward moment, it's kind of similar. I was in class, and the teacher was giving a lecture. My only memories of this moment was the teacher waving his hand really close to my face, and the whole class watching me. It's not as exciting as the first one, but my main thing I'm wondering about is, I don't know how long he's been doing that for. And I don't know if I want to know. He could have been doing it for a couple minutes, for all I know. Or it could have been like immediate. It could just be in a couple waves. I have no clue. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this episode of TWD. Hope you enjoyed. And for the question, are your thoughts and imaginations similar to mine? Make sure to let me know in the comments below. And yeah, hope you enjoyed and goodbye.